And we're live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Show. I'm Martine Corte. I'll be your host tonight, and we have a special guest. So tune in, share the broadcast, and I'll be introducing my guests in a few minutes. We do not own the rights to this music. However, the artist is right here on this live stream. So to cover ourselves, do we have permission,
You sure
Dr.
do have
Franklin?
permission. You have permission to play my song.
All right. Thank you very much. So we're covered, Facebook. All right. So we're going to look for our broadcast on our phones, Dr. Franklin. So if you grab your phone and head to my Facebook page, and share the broadcast. Hey, everybody. Say hello when you come in. Let's see. The name of this song is American Dream by Dr. Franklin Thompson, our guest tonight. Woo-hoo! Featuring his wife, Beverly Thompson. Hey, sis. I should send it to her, too. All right. Let me look for the broadcast. There it is. I'm going to share it to a group. Yep. All right. And it's posted. All right. Dr. Franklin, did you find the broadcast?
Yes, I did.
All right. Dr. Franklin, did you find the broadcast? Okay, go ahead and hit that share button, and all of your followers will see the broadcast. Okay, go ahead and hit that share button, and all of your followers will. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut the music off. Nice song, Dr. Franklin Thompson. How you doing, sir?
I am doing great. How about you?
I am doing good. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Show as my guest. I appreciate you. So welcome, everyone. We're going to get started. My name is Martine Corte. I'm going to be your host tonight for the Entrepreneur Show. We've got a new author in our midst, and he's also a songwriter and producer. You just heard one of his many songs in the background playing. So when you come in the broadcast, do me a favor and share the broadcast so we can get as many eyes on the broadcast as possible. We appreciate you. And let us know that we're coming through okay and you can hear us okay. Just in the comments, type all good or hello or something to that effect, okay? And I'll be watching for comments through both platforms. Shout out to StreamYard, who we are utilizing to simulcastly broadcast on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We're on another platform, Facebook platform. We're on my business page as well. So we're streaming live on 3 different broadcasts, one broadcast on 3 pages. So shout out to StreamYard. So again, if you see the broadcast, go ahead and share it to other friends, families, and authors, because we have an author in the group. All right, so come on and join us. I'm going to just kind of give a brief introduction about myself so we can make sure everyone knows who I am, and then we'll go ahead and get started, introduce our guest, and have him have the floor. So my name again is Martine Corte. I am a best-selling author. My book is Journey to Greatness. I am an entrepreneur. I own Advanced Tax Solutions. That's our tax firm here located in Omaha, Nebraska. I also own the Accurate Screening Solution, our drug testing center. I'm also a business coach under MQ Services, where we coach a lot of small businesses and help them with marketing and live streaming and whatever else they need. We do business credit. We just kind of help get our business owners in alignment, get their business registered. We do LLC and EIN registrations. I'm also a boutique owner, African boutique owner, along with my husband, so we co-own that. And then I do a lot of other things I forget to talk about. And shout out to before I get our veterans. Yesterday was Veterans Day, so I am a veteran, but I also like to give thanks to those other that people that have served in the armed forces for this country, the good old U.S. of A. Hello. So I work with small business owners, entrepreneurs, network marketers, nonprofit leaders to help them reach their potential clients with the assistance of live streaming, what we're doing right here, right now, to help them get to the bag. So if that is you and you are interested in needing a coach or need any of our services that we offer, hit me up. Hit me up. So one of the shows that I produce here on Facebook Live is the Entrepreneur Show. I also have another Facebook Live show called Side Hustle Night School. You'll normally see that on Friday nights or Saturday nights. But since we're doing the Entrepreneur Show, we will not be bringing that show for a couple of days. So welcome, everybody. Just make sure you share the broadcast. Say hello to me. Go ahead and type in the comments. Hello. I'm going, let me turn that down. All right, so I'm going to be looking for comments just to make sure, we're getting supported by StreamYard, but sometimes, things happen and we don't see all of our comments. So I've got it on my phone as well. Okay. I think Sir Alan wants to join the broadcast. So with your permission, if it's okay to have your buddy alongside you, I can send him the link.
That would be all right with me.
Okay, great. So let me go ahead and get you introduced. Everyone, I've had the pleasure to bring this broadcast to you live stream with a very, very important person in our community. I'm so proud. And when we go back, because we're family, but just to kind of give a little background, and I will let him kind of fill you all in, fill in the blanks or whatever I miss. But we have Dr. Franklin Thompson. He is a new author, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And amongst some other things, he's also a music producer. Do you write a little bit too?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Wonderful.
Songwriter.
Okay. Songwriter. Okay. Awesome. And he is a former city councilman here in Omaha, Nebraska. And you just retired from the city human relations department.
Yes.
And you're also an educator, and you're still teaching.
Still been an educator for 46 years.
Educator for 46 years. So you've taught high school. I think it was my alma mater, Burke High School.
I started at Burke High School. I went to Blackburn. Then I went to Creighton Prep, which is a big difference between those two. And then I teach teachers at UNO now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Prepare teachers to go to the classroom.
Nice. Okay. So, Sir Alan Black is on here. Okay. You can just watch. Okay. No problem. Oh, hold on. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the background. There's so many things that our guest does, and I will let him fill us in and just kind of, Dr. Thompson, let us know, just kind of give us a rundown of your background. For those that are watching that may not know you, if you could just introduce yourself and just kind of let people know what it is that you do here. You do a lot. So whatever you feel that you want to share. We were just playing one of your songs from, what year was that produced?
That particular song, American Dream, was written about 1994-ish.
1994-ish. Okay. Mm-hmm. So wonderful song, and his wife was also featured in that song as well. Beautiful voices. So, okay, Dr. Thompson, go ahead, because I can talk. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Okay. And welcome to the Entrepreneur Show, by the way.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you having this show for the local people who are trying to, get a start. I came to Nebraska as what you call a military brat. And so my father was in the military, and we went everywhere. And so Basically, the family came here. The rest of the family has left. I'm the only one left here back in Omaha now. And but all of my life, I've had the privilege to use music, education, and now authorship with writing a book to try and make a difference. And so my whole thing is to try and make a positive impact in the areas of race relations, people relations, politics. But out of all the things that I have, a yearning to do is to help children, especially those children who we call the throwaway children. And one of the reasons why I wrote the book that I did write is because I could have easily been one of those that did not make it. And I could have gone to the dark side. I could have gone to drugs, gangs, being a communist, being a woman hater. I mean, there's a lot of depth to me and even some of my siblings. I'm not the only one.
Okay,
And
so we're gonna hold off and getting into deep into that because I do want you to break down some of those things that's shared in your book. Let's give some shout out for some people that have just come into the broadcast. Dr. Thompson, we have Frankie Thompson. I wonder if she's related to you.
yeah, she's one of the better looking Thompsons.
Hi, Frankie. She says, Dr. T in the house. Woo, woo, woo. That's right. So,
Yeah, I'm the least attractive in the whole group, so
so that's your daughter.
they all look better than me.
So that's one of your daughters. When you have another daughter.
I have
Yes.
4 children. I have a son, Kelly. I have Ivy. I have
Ivy.
Frankie, and I have
Frankie.
Jasmine.
And Jazzy. Somebody tag Jazzy. She's usually on Facebook. Frankie tag Jazzy. Hi, Tiffany. Tiffany Gamble is in the house. She says, good evening, bosses. Thank you, ma'am. How
Good
you
evening.
doing? And then we also have Sir Alan Black. He's in the building. Comment something else, Sir Alan. Hi, Gwen Easter. She says hello. How you doing, ma'am?
My friend Gwen.
Yes, I know Gwen too. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Show, Gwen. Okay, thank you for tagging Jazzy for me, Frankie. So, now you talked briefly about the book, and I want the audience to kind of know a little bit more about what the other things that you do before we dive into the book.
Okay. Yes. 46 years of teaching, and the teaching has been in the area of history and social justice. And so I've studied quite a bit in terms of the civil rights movement, just the whole idea of civil rights and trying to make things better for Black and brown people. Very heavily into race relations. And that's what I actually teach right now at UNO. In order to be a teacher in the state of Nebraska, you have to take race and human relations. It's a mandatory course, and I teach that course at UNO. And I'm proud of the impact that I've had. Many of my students, I am the first Black teacher they ever had in their entire life. And so,
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we have some students that are from a town that might only be 1,000 people, and then they come to Omaha, and I'm the very first Black instructor that they've ever had. And so the perspective that I can give them really opens them up to things that they were not taught, back in high school and junior high.
Nice.
Mhm.
I did not know that. And that's an asset to the university to be able
Yes,
to be a instructor of color, imparting on other ethnicity that's never seen uh,
yes,
or never had someone leading them in the
yes.
classroom setting.
I
That's
I have a portfolio this thick of testimonials from students, most of them Caucasian students,
I bet
and
you
and
do. That's
and they'll
impressive.
they'll give me the testimony saying, how much of a difference I've made in their
Hmm.
perspective and in their life. So uh, I'm an educator by just ever since I was young, really, and
Hmm.
then I try to then use that same education bent in my music. So,
Hmm.
I can write a song about, ooh la la, ooey baby. I can do those songs. But the ones that the ones that I really like are like the one you just heard at the top of the show. It's called The American Dream. And it asks the
Hmm.
question, is it a dream deferred? Or is it a dream that we can, really make come true?
Hmm.
So I do have CDs with that music that people can listen to and
Hmm.
hopefully get some inspiration from.
I
My
definitely got some inspiration just listening to the lyrics just now, because I don't think I've ever heard that song before.
Yes, there's many other songs like that. One of the
Mhm.
ones that we recently did, I worked with my brother-in-law Nate Bray. Nate Bray is
Shout
the
out to Nate Bray.
Nate Bray is the top bass guitar player in Nebraska, and
Hmm.
probably I would say one of the top five singers in Nebraska. So he
Hmm.
comes very highly recommended,
He's
and
bad. He's bad to the
and
bone.
bad to the bone. And we co-wrote a song along with Norman Love called the name of the song is Freedom Fighters, and
Mm.
it gives homage back to the 1960s and 70s sound. We did that on purpose. But
Right, right.
basically what we do is we talk about all of the people in Black history who
Hmm.
gave us strength and gave us um, a reason to push through
Hmm.
and carry on the Black movement. And so even though it's an older sounding song, it's one of
Hmm.
those that it's a local classic because of its message.
Right. And we've got
Mhm.
some messages. I'm so honored to be interviewing you because you are a person of substance, and we're blessed as a city here in Omaha to have you as an instructor at the university, because you are definitely you have a lot of value. You can add a lot of value to people's lives. But we have some comments here. Let's go ahead and share them with everyone. Sir Alan Black says, very honored to have Dr. Thompson as a close friend. Congratulations on becoming an author. Can you see the comments, Dr. Thompson?
Yes, I can see those.
Okay,
And
awesome.
that's a nice comment coming from someone who himself is a master of words.
Yes, he is. You guys go back a long way.
Yeah. Yes, we were college classmates.
That's right. That's right. We have another comment. Thank you, Dr. Or excuse me, Al. I call him Sir Alan Black. We have another comment from Gwen Easter. She says, "Wow, what a blessing to the students." I thought the same thing too. Man, I
Hmm.
want to sit in one of your classes. I've had a whole lot of classes, while I was a college student, but I'm sure I could benefit from one of your classes, um, Dr. Thompson. And then she also says, I have one of your CDs. So you have some fans out here in the audience.
That's right. And whether you know me as Dr. Thompson or my alias, which is Jaboi, Jaboy.
Ja boy. That is too funny. Ja boy. I saw this on this song, aka Ja boy. Now, what can you give us a little bit? Where did that come from, Ja boy?
One of my students by the name of Tracy McCants, I don't know if Tracy lives in Nebraska anymore, but way back at Burke High School, um, he gave me that name.
Oh, okay.
It was he would always say your boy, your boy, your boy, your this, your boy that, and so he decided to change it up and kind of like put a little French in it. so it
Uh-huh.
became Jaboy.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's French, the way it's
So one of
spelled,
my students named.
Boy. Uh-huh. Nice,
Mhm.
nice. We have another comment and shout out to Burke High School. That's where I graduated from high school. All right, Frankie Thompson says, since I was a little girl and to this day, I've witnessed my dad's former students approach him in public to say he was their favorite teacher. I always admired that about him and his impact on people. Absolutely. I feel the same way. Thank you so
That
much
that
for sharing.
that's a pretty good comment coming from Seattle's number one street person that's a reporter for
That's
news.
right, Frankie Thompson. Y'all look her up in Seattle. Thank you, Frankie. So, all right. So we talked about your songwriting and producing. We talked a little bit about your artship, which is what this live stream is about. And we'll get into that. We know you're also an instructor. You also served for the city in human relations.
Well, before that, I was a city councilman, and
City
I
council. Oh, yes. Let me not skip over that. Okay, so
yeah,
briefly, let us know your journey as city council and some of the great things that you've done while you were in office.
my district was not people. They normally look at me and say, "Oh, you must be from North Omaha." No, I was a city councilman for West Central Omaha. And West
Hmm.
Central Omaha was when I won was 96% white and middle class and upper class.
Hmm.
So there was a side bet from some of the people that knew me. One of my bosses even thought I would never make it, and I won that election by 57%, which is strong. That's a strong showing. But basically, I think I came along at the right time with the right
Hmm.
message. The timing was when people were starting to see that there was more to the story than what they had been told. And that there were stereotypes about black people, and people were beginning to go, maybe all that isn't so true. So I came along at the right time, and then I had the right message. And the right message was that, um, yes, I'm a black man, but I'm also an American, and I'm
Hmm.
and I'm an American who wants to see us do better. We can do better.
Hmm.
White can do better. Black can do better. Male, female, we all can do better. And so they put me in office because they didn't see me as a black person. They saw me as a person who was trying to be a better American. And I think that message resonated. Now, once I got in the office, it became kind of interesting, though, okay? Because because my district is not 100% conservative, but it is a majority conservative. And so there were things that they wanted me to do and be that just wasn't me. For example, I wasn't going to um, run around the city and then say, get rid of affirmative action and some of the things that they thought I was going to say. So
Hmm.
I had to not only educate my class, students in my classroom, but in a sense, I had to educate, citizens in my district too. And I
Hmm.
think I think I made some inroads there. I think I made inroads to where, I told people there's there's the way that Republicans think, the way that Democrats think, and then there's the way that God thinks. and,
Hmm.
and I would always say, and the way that God thinks trumps, not trying to be, trying to use any, you know, tricky words there, but I think it trumps all the other two.
Hmm.
And I just kept saying that over and over and over again. And I think I won converts. I think I began to help people begin to see that it's better to be a critically thinking American as opposed to just this hardline party stuff where you throw grenades at one another.
Absolutely. And I do believe you made inroads with the community. You know, you're serving District 66, which is predominantly Caucasian population. And with you being a Black councilman representing that district, I'm sure you changed a lot of mindsets there. And y'all, I just have to let y'all know Dr. Thompson, you have a 4-year term that you ran and served in city council. Is that right?
Uh, I
How many
served
terms did you serve?
Four terms for 16 years.
Yes. So that's a long time. So obviously you made a difference because they kept voting for you.
Yes. Mhm.
And y'all, he had us on the corner with the
Handing
signs,
handing out
campaigning.
things and
Me,
campaigning.
my daughter Kelsey, Jazzy, Frankie, uh, uh, Beverly, we're all supporting. We're folding up envelopes at the dining room table. We were supporting Dr. Thompson. I remember those days, and we had a good time. I will never ever forget that time. That was my first stint with politics, and supporting someone's campaign.
Campaigning is hard work, isn't it?
It's very hard work.
You got wore out and you weren't even the candidate.
How about that? but it was all well and good, and you definitely made a difference. Now,
I do want to say though, Martine, that
mhm,
politics is interesting. It can get very, very discouraging and ugly. But I also want to say to people who are out there listening, we need good people to do it. And if you guys don't do it, then it won't get done. So even though politics can be a little bit of a a kind of a crazy thing to get involved in, we need good people to do it. And I'm out there recruiting young people all the time to run for office.
absolutely. I'm sure you probably bring it up in the classroom too, right?
Yes, they do. Hmm.
While you have, those people in front of you, you might as well try to
Hmm.
do some recruiting.
And
That's
mentoring
awesome.
and
And
mentoring.
mentoring.
I have
Absolutely.
I have about 4 or 5 African American, 2 females and 3 males that I'm mentoring now, and
Hmm.
hoping that they will someday. Well, one of them has been running. Um,
Oh,
well, actually,
nice.
two of them have been running. We're just got to get them over that hump so that they can
Hmm.
win.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. We got a couple of more comments. Gwen Easter, she says, I love when we prove people wrong. Absolutely. And then she also says, awesome, 16 years. Ja
Mhm.
boy.
Your
Been
boys, your
sitting
boys.
down for 16 years. All right. So, Dr. Thompson, fast forward to the city, Human
Yes.
Relations Department.
Yes, I retired from City Hall in 2017 and thought I was done with it all. 4 months later, the mayor called me and says, I have an opening and we think you're the guy to do it. Um,
Mm.
Basically speaking, uh, the Human Rights and Relations Department uh, had historically been a department that just does like pseudo semi legal work, people who have a
Mhm.
discrimination charge. And what we wanted to do is take that, but expand and make the office bigger than that. And so my main job was to keep doing the good job that was being done already, but to expand that. And you may have heard in the news recently, uh, just this year, and then also about 2 years ago, the two of the 5 people that got lynched in Nebraska, Will Brown and George
Mhm.
Smith. We have historic markers that are down at the courthouse planted on the grounds, and I
Wow.
was one of the um, chair people that brought that to Nebraska, brought that to Omaha.
Congratulations. Good work. Good
Hmm.
work. Awesome. Awesome. And that's a big deal. That's a
Hmm.
big deal because that's a long time coming, right?
Right. So
Hmm.
that department then it broadened its focus, and then we were able to do more community outreach. So we weren't just doing legal and paperwork. We were
Hmm.
actually getting out in the community. I'm very happy to be a part of a group in the community called the Omaha Community Council on Racial Justice and Reconciliation. And next summer, doing Native Omaha Week, that last week in July, will
Hmm.
be commemorating Vivian Strong. Those of
Hmm.
you who don't know who Vivian Strong is, she's the 14-year-old girl that got shot in the back of the head by the
Hmm.
police, in which that incident then touched off the 1969
Hmm.
riot in North Omaha. So we're
Yeah.
going We're finally bringing the family together, and we're going
Mhm.
to commemorate their sister, and then we're going to, do some reconciliation on that issue.
Wow, that'll be so wonderful to see. Congratulations on being a spearhead and taking charge and the lead for that. That's definitely something that needs to be done as well. I commend
Hmm.
you, Dr. Thompson, for all of your efforts and insight to, what we need as a community need to do and make things right. So thank you so much for everything that you do. Just let's take a quick break, real quick, for those. We're at the top of the hour. For those that are just coming in, my name is Martine Corte. I'm your host here tonight on the Entrepreneur Show. We have our guest, Dr. Franklin Thompson. He is a new author, which we're going to be getting into his book on the second half of this show. But we thank everyone for coming in. Please, please share the broadcast. Get your boss besties on this broadcast. Other author friends that you know, people that want to aspire to be an author, get them in the room because you want to hear from this new author and his journey. We got Jazzy in the house. Okay, she popped in. All right, she says Pops.
The one and only. That's
Number
her
one
alias.
Jazzy.
Her alias is the one and only.
That's right. That's right. Welcome, Jazzy, to the Entrepreneur Show. My name again is Martine Corte. I'm a best-selling author myself. My book is Journey to Greatness. I'm also an entrepreneur out here in the community. Also a radio personality. I usually forget to say that. Doing my community service on 95.7 The Boss and having a blast. So thank y'all for coming in. I work with small business owners, entrepreneurs, artists, authors, network marketers, and community members, nonprofit leaders to help them reach more clients in their business, in their venture to serve the community with the assistance of live streaming. That's the technique that I use to get them to know who I am so they can reach the customers and make the kind of money they want to make in their business or serve the numbers of people that they want to serve in their nonprofits. So thank you and welcome, y'all. All right. So Dr. Thompson, can we get into your book? Because this book is everything. And I have his book. And by the way, he's on a tour right now, a book signing tour. And you have a couple under your belt already. Kind of let us know how that's going and the next one that's coming up. And then just briefly touch on some aspects. We don't want to give the book away, but just give us a little bit of what we might find once we purchase your book. What would entice us to get your book? You can share anything that you like.
First of all, we've had 6 book signings, and we'll have at least 1 or 2 more before Christmas. The next one is actually this Tuesday at UNO, the library, Christopher Library, which is about 66th and Dodge Street, right off of Dodge.
Okay, so if
And
y'all in Omaha, what time is that one?
at 11 to 1. But
Okay, over the lunch hour.
yeah, but don't despair. It's not a 2-hour commitment. People can dip in and out during
Mm-hmm.
that 2-hour time. So it's a drop in, drop out kind of a thing. And
Awesome.
so that's Tuesday the 15th. And the difference between this one and the other ones is that because it is a college setting, I'll actually give a PowerPoint presentation, a talk.
Okay.
And the talk will be about working with children who hurt or at-risk children. So it'll be a lot of networking, but I'm going to also take a half an hour and give a college professor talk also. The title of the book is Confessions of a Murphy's Law Child. Murphy's Law says that if it will go wrong, it probably will for some people. And as strange as it may sound, there are some kids that from the day that they're born until the day they leave this earth, they have way more bad luck and things go wrong than what should happen to them. Now, what happens to those kids is that sometimes they get ignored. And when they get ignored, then they make choices that aren't the best choices. Some of the choices may be drugs, gangs, dropping out of school, getting all into crazy things. Lately, you've seen national news, and even it happened here in Omaha once, where these kids feel so marginalized. They go to a store, buy a gun, go to their school, and shoot up the school.
Mm.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to be one of these alarmists or these people that's like a downer or nothing like that. Debbie Downer, but we got some work to do. We've
Mm-hmm.
got some work to do, and I'm not asking everybody in TV land tonight to do it what I'm doing, but I am asking everybody that we've got to do better. And
Mm-hmm.
we're unraveling at the seams, is what's happening as a society. And it starts with the family. If you don't, if the kids aren't feeling loved at the family level, then when they go out to the schools, when they go out to the world, when they go out to the community, they're going to make some interesting choices. And those
Mm-hmm.
choices are going to sometimes be scary. So, the number one target of this book are the at risk kids who are about to throw in the towel and say, I give up. I
Mm-hmm.
want them to know that you can make it. It won't be easy, it'll be
Mm-hmm.
a difficult road, but you don't have to give up. You don't have to give in. You don't have to go dark. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one audience. Now, the number two audience would be government and people who need to do better with policy making. So that's the political side that's coming out right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we've got to do a better job of our policies and taking care of each other. And all, not only the children, but people of color. We need to do a little bit better job with our policies with that too. I'll give you an example. Um, the poorest county in all of the the nation, the entire nation, the poorest county is Pine Ridge Reservation, which is only 4 hours northwest of here.
Mm-hmm.
Poorest county, and we're talking about suicide rates in that county that are like 30%.
Wow.
Yes, and
Really?
yes, and we're talking about between the age of about 13 and 28. That
My,
is outrageous. That's outrageous. But
it is.
I was glad when I saw President Barack Obama went to Pine Ridge, and during his time he made some commitments to them. Um, we so it's people say, well, if you're black, you're only going to talk about black stuff. Well, that's not me. That's part of the game that America plays. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
unplugged from the game. I went over to the wall, grabbed the plug, and pulled it out. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, I'm not going to play the regular game. I'm going to play what God is telling me to do. And He's saying that there are black, brown, and red kids that need the politicians to do a little bit better. Now, the third audience is to the educators. And the power that an educator has, people, I don't think they really understand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember back in high school, when you were in high school or junior high, it was always those students who didn't want to leave school and the teacher
Mm-hmm.
had to always kick them out, but they want to just hang around school all the time? The
Mm-hmm.
reason why they were doing that is because school was the only place that was sane in their
Wow.
life.
Mm-hmm.
When they went home, it wasn't safe and it wasn't sane. So they
Mm-hmm.
want to stay at school
Yeah.
to keep whatever sanity they could in their lives. Well,
Mm-hmm.
the good news was bad news. Bad news is that we're letting kids drift. But the good news is that it only takes just one adult to enter into that child's life, make a difference, and all
Mm-hmm.
of that negativity can get washed down the stream simply because one adult decided to be a caring mentor. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times it's not the uncle or the brother. And so, unfortunately, it's not always mom and dad. And I hate to say this, but it's not always your minister either.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's that teacher who took that special interest in making sure that you didn't fall through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
And so the third audience that this book is geared at are the teachers to
Teachers.
be the safety net when
Mhm.
the rest of the world fails our children.
Mhm. That's huge right there, Dr. Thompson. And I want to dive deep, a little bit more deeper into that in just a second with the teachers, the responsibility that teachers have, and the effectiveness that teachers can have over one's life, such as our at risk children that you're talking about. Before, I want to also ask you. What was your focus on at-risk children? But before you respond to that, I want to shout out your wife who has just joined the broadcast. Hi, Beverly. She says, I'm viewing, loves, proud of you both. That's how she talks. She's so glamorous. She's so, hey.
Miss Beverly is the queen.
That's right. That's right.
She's Omaha's queen.
That's right.
Y'all better recognize.
That's right. So welcome, Beverly, to the broadcast. We were listening to your voice in the intro song that featured you. So you'll have to go back to the beginning of the broadcast once we're done to listen to it. But thank you so much for joining us. So, Dr. Thompson, what is the reason for your focus on just? I know you probably mentioned some of it, but I want to know exactly if we can dive deep a little bit. Your focus on at-risk kids, is it because of your experience as a child as well? Because I believe your book kind of
Yes.
mentioned a little bit of that. Am I correct?
It mentions a lot of it.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why I had to tell my story is because I don't want kids who are struggling to think, "Oh, he lives out in West Omaha. He's rich. He don't know nothing about hard times." No, I had to set the record straight that I really do know what I'm talking about, and that I actually did overcome things that should have knocked me down. But I'm not
Can you share
doing that.
something? Can you share one thing that
Oh,
you struggle with a
geez.
kid to give us an idea?
Yeah. Okay, I'll share one. High school, senior in high school, I'm emancipated. I had to temporarily divorce my parents because they were good people, but they weren't the best parents in the world. And so I jumped in a car when I was living in Denver, Colorado. I drove to Omaha on a driver's permit. That's all I had. And I got my own job, put myself through my senior year of high school, emancipated. And so I had to work and go to school. But anyway, there was a guy, the editor of the Lincoln Journal-Star, took an interest in me. And so he didn't want to see, me waste. And he thought that I had, some good material that he could invest in. So he decided that he was going to give me a 4-year scholarship to go to Rutgers. He wanted me to go to one of these prep schools first, which I was okay because I was, I needed to get boned up, especially if I was going to be a journalist at that time, since he was a journalist. And so I had it all set. I'm poor. I'm living by myself. I'm living, with other relatives. Ultimately, I get my own apartment down at 16th and Sprague Street, 16th and Decatur. And I'm thinking college is all set. Well, one of my teachers at Tech High decided that she didn't like my politics. She thought I was, quote unquote, becoming too much like Malcolm and Angela Davis. She called that journalist and said, he's not worth you giving him that scholarship. Take it away from him. And so one phone call, I went from having my school paid for to having to really, really suffer in college. And when I say suffer in college, I mean hospitalized 3 times for a nervous breakdown because I was working so hard just to try and make it. So that's the kind of stuff.
So that your scholarship was wiped away, every last penny.
Every last penny. Even though I had a 3.8 GPA, I went to college with no scholarship. Wow. I mean, that sounds incredible, doesn't it? But anyway, I had to make a decision. Go negative, because that was during the time when when black people were talking about the white man, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
whitey, and so was I going to go negative? I had one of my best friends was a communist, and she would have loved for me to have joined her with that route, and I decided to go to tough it out and be, fight the power through education.
Mm.
But
Nice.
that's one example of being at risk.
Yeah,
And
you could have went totally to the left
yeah,
and been upset for
yeah,
forever.
I could have been a very angry socialist,
Mm-hmm.
talking about overthrowing the government and all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just one example.
Right.
The book has about 3 dozen other examples.
Wow. We got to get the book, y'all. I didn't even know that story, but of course I can't know everything about you, and
Right,
what you've gone through as a young person.
right. Well, and I have to retract a little bit. The story that I just shared with you is book number 3. My story is in 3 parts. So
Oh
the
man.
book, the book that's out now is my earlier life, and
Mm-hmm.
then book 2 is part 2 of that, and then book 3 is
Mm-hmm.
the incredible uh, Tech High story, Nebraska's
Mm-hmm.
best kept secret.
So that's okay because we need that background
Hmm.
in order to understand when we get to book 3 what's
Hmm.
going on. So
Yeah.
so we got to get the book to get the background. We got to get the background story. Um, Fast forward, we got a comment. Jazzy says, "Wow, incredible story, incredible story." And then we have a Facebook user. Don't know who they are, but they say this is amazing. Let us know who you are, Facebook user. So fast forward, we got about 15 more minutes to the teachers. I know you said it comes in 3 aspects as far as um, supporting our at-risk children. So the first was at-risk children, and then the government or someone in politics that has the responsibility of making a difference in
Making
the
better
at-risk,
policy
making better policies as it relates to at-risk youth
and
children
people of color.
and people of color. Okay. And then teachers, their responsibility and their impact on at-risk youth, people of color, et cetera, students that are in front of them, with them all day long, every day. Can you dive a little bit deeper into their responsibility? Because we may have some teachers on here, and my daughter's a teacher, Kelsey, and there's days where, teachers, they have so much coming at them every day, and they're with our little ones all day long while parents are at work or whatever, and there's a lot that happens, and sometimes they get a little overwhelmed, but then
Yes, and
that
I'm
impact.
glad. I'm glad you mentioned that because teachers are actually leaving the profession in groves right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're jumping ship. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's sad because they get low pay, and
Mm-hmm.
then they have to solve all the problems that the rest of the entities don't want to solve. They
Mm-hmm.
have to solve the things that the government and the police and the churches and all those things aren't solving. They don't get paid for it much, and then the
Mm-hmm.
discipline is not easy anymore. The discipline is really rough.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I want to say that for teachers, your reward is more altruistic. It's knowing that first of all you didn't sell out, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
number 2 that you're actually making a difference. You are creating the foundation for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the money will not be there, but you are doing a great service to the community. Uh, I hope your daughter stays in the profession for another 30 years because she's needed. She's
That's
needed.
right. Mm-hmm.
And but in my case, I want to give shout out to some teachers that really helped me, if I may.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Um, the first black principal of a high school in Nebraska, his name was Odra Bradley. Grace Davis, Gene Haynes. You might know of
I
Gene
know Gene
because
Haynes.
he was at North. and
Mm-hmm.
then Bernice Littlejohn, who now is Bernice Narrett.
Yes, I know her
And
too.
and those four people were like water to thirsty children
Mm,
walking around in a desert. And
mm,
had it not been for those four and a few others, me and my classmates would not have made it. We would
mm.
not have made it. And
Wow.
that's why that's kind of the third book that I told you about, where
Mm-hmm.
the Tech High story. But we're talking about teachers who knew that I was, in Omaha without a mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that the only meal that I ate was the school lunch,
Mm-hmm.
and
Wow.
they knew all that, and they kept it quiet because they understood that if they made too much noise, that the central administration could have made it difficult for me. So
Yeah.
they did things like when I came to school without a coat and it's snow on the ground, they brought me a coat.
Mm.
Yeah, this is real stuff,
Yeah.
ladies.
So
Real.
the the basic resources that kids need, and even today, that happens.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That is an incredible story, and I'm sure your book is going to be filled with more. I mean, I'm just so anxious to. I have your book, and I'm so anxious to get through it because there's so much I want to hear from you. Like I said, I want to be another student in your classroom. As many classrooms I've been in as a college student, I'm sure I'm missing something because I haven't heard from you. You haven't been one of my instructors because I just know that you're going to pour into me and there's going to be something that I can benefit from your words. Thank you so much for everything you do. Uh, Let me know, you guys, if you have a question for Dr. Thompson before we leave the broadcast. We have about, I would say, about 17 more minutes left. Um, if there's someone that needs to be in this broadcast right now, please share the broadcast out to them, get them in, even on the last minute, because they can always go back and watch the beginning, because this will be on replay. But we have with us, just for those that are just coming in, and thank you to Cara for joining the broadcast. I appreciate you. She's another author of many, many books. So we have several authors on the live stream tonight. Um, my name is Martine Corte. I'm the host of the show tonight, the Entrepreneur Show. I'm an entrepreneur in the community, and I'm also a best-selling author. I'm so happy to be able to bring to you Dr. Thompson, who is a new author, and he's on a book tour. And he's going to have another tour coming up, or another book signing coming up, I should say, uh, November 15th. Is that right?
Tuesday, this Tuesday, the
This
15th,
Tuesday. Okay. Yes, this
11
Tuesday.
11 a.m. at Chris Library, UNO.
Okay, so if you're in the area, Omaha area, and you can stop by around the lunch hour, please do get his book. It's also, is the book on Amazon at all?
Yes, you can go on Amazon, and you can also get it by way of my web page. My web page is omahachangeagent.com. Omaha Change Agent is one word.com. And not only can you get the book there, you can access music also.
Omaha Change Agent.
.com.
Okay, Omaha Change Agent.com. I'm going to put it up on the screen. So if there's someone that wants to kind of write that down, they'll see it. Omaha Change Agent.com is the
Yes.
Dr. Thompson's website. You can grab the book over there too. And
Or
they can
you
learn
can
more
go
about you too on your website.
and
Right?
and you can also go direct to Amazon.com and purchase it there too.
So they would just type in your name, Franklin
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Amazon.com, and you can type in Franklin T. Thompson, or you can type in Confessions of a Murphy's Law Child.
Confessions of a Murphy Law Child. Do you happen to have your book right there by you by chance so they can see the cover?
Yes. Because I'm using a virtual screen, I'm not
Oh,
sure if it'll show. Is that showing?
it is. Give us a little more. A little more. Okay. Yep. Now it's
No.
going away. All right. So there's the top part of that. If I had it prepared properly, I would have had the picture where we could just share it up. But you guys
Right.
follow him on what's your social media so people can follow you and find out more about you.
I'm brand new. I'm an old dinosaur, as you know, but I'm brand new to Facebook and Messenger.
All right. So on Facebook, your Facebook page is Franklin Thompson or T Thompson.
Uh,
Do we remember?
F Thompson.
F Thompson. Okay, on
Yeah,
Facebook, y'all.
I think it's
It-
hashtag F Thompson. Is that how you say that?
mhm.
You guys
Oh
got to
no hashtag.
no. Okay, you
So this
you
is his Facebook page. Y'all just type in his name. Y'all find him.
you
And
guys
then
have
he's
to
gonna
forgive
be
me. Even at UNO, I still walk around with a box of files, old school. But the students love it. The
yes,
students
yes.
love it.
So
I'm
y'all
just
give
getting
him some
used to this
grace.
new technology.
Y'all give him some grace. He's learning the whole tech, and social media scene. He's soon to be showing up on YouTube.
Yes,
And you're on Twitter as well. So those that are interested in Twitter, you can
yes, I
find him
am.
over there.
That's right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you helped me get on it.
That's right. That's right. So we got them together, y'all. Don't worry. But let me go back to my comments. Let me take this down. So OmahaChangeAgent.com is his website, Dr. Thompson's website. And let's see. Oh, Beverly Thompson says, let me get that up. Your book is also at the Bookworm. You're on the
At the
shelves of the Bookworm.
at the Bookworm on 90th Street, 1 block north of Center, and also the Afro American Bookstore on 33rd and Lake Street.
Your book is there as well.
33rd and Lake Street, Afro American Bookstore.
Afro American Bookstore.
Mhm,
Awesome. Congratulations.
mhm.
Y'all, he's doing this thing to be a new author. He's everywhere, but he has a strong following. He's not brand new to this, okay? He's just a brand new author, but he's got a strong following and has done amazing things in the community. So it doesn't surprise me that he can get on the shelves of all these different bookstores. So kudos to you. Sir Alan Black says, and Dr. Thompson is a critical thinker that is reflected in his music. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that comment. So we've got a minute left. Dr. Thompson, I'm going to leave the floor to you. What are some last parting words that you want to mention or to leave on our spirits as it relates to your book or anything you've done in the community?
I want to leave a message, an inspirational message. I know that in life, we want to have fun. We want to have cars and fancy clothes and bling bling and ching ching and drop it like it's hot. I understand all that. I'm not an ogre to where I don't have fun. But I want to say the one thing that's missing that we got to get back to, and that's that we have to take care of one another. We have to. Our lives are not our own. The reason why we're on earth is to look after each other. I do believe I am my brother's keeper, and especially the family. The Black family is in trouble right now. We have the highest divorce rate and the highest single parent rate. You just can't go through life dropping it like it's hot and then ignoring those kinds of realities. And so I'm out there recruiting, and I'm recruiting people to become change agents. You can have your fun, you can make your money, you can do all the things, you can travel, but don't forget to be a difference maker. That's my number one goal in life, is to recruit difference makers and future change agents.
Amen. Very well said. And I'm challenged because I do want to make a difference in my little piece of the pie and what God has allowed me to do. And I want to challenge others. If you have a piece of the pie and you have the ability to go out and make a difference in your own lane, we challenge you. Go and do that. Be a change maker. Yvette Turner Jenkins. Hello, ma'am. She says, amen, amen. Go out and be a difference. I teach that to I taught that to my daughter, all her, growing up when she was a young person. And I share that with her friends, and we're out here to make a difference. And I think that's the reason why we're on this earth. That's just my belief. Um, and I definitely like to see others do the same thing, because we all are in this together, and we need, like you said, Dr. Thompson, we do need to take care of one another. I'm my sister's keeper. You might be your brother's keeper. So we're all in this together, taking care of each other. And pick up the phone and call someone if you haven't seen them in a while. Let them know that you're thinking about them. That even just that one, effort can make a world of a difference. Wouldn't you agree, Dr. Thompson?
Yes, and definitely special emphasis on our children. Our children are in trouble right now, and we're ignoring it, and it's going to bite us in the rear end like an angry lion. We have to make sure that we provide the right kind of future for our children.
That's right.
The black family is worth saving. Not just black children, but in particular, we have to reinvigorate ourselves and reinvent ourselves and save the black family, because we're in trouble right now.
Awesome. Awesome. Last parting words. I appreciate you, Dr. Thompson. Your time is valuable. I thank you for coming on the show and giving us your hour. I want to say kudos to you. Continue doing the work. You're very much appreciated, and you're needed in the community. So from me to you and others that probably feel the same way, they can let you know in their own way. But again, thank you so much for your time. Everyone, thank y'all for joining the broadcast. Yes, Gwen Easter says our children, and she works with children too. Our children are the future. That's right. Amen to that. So thank everyone for coming on the broadcast, taking your time tonight out of your busy schedules to listen to our broadcast. And please pick up Dr. Thompson's book. If you can show up at his book signing on Tuesday, please do go to the website, changeagents.com, and read more about him. Follow him on social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and soon to come, YouTube. Thank y'all very much. Thank you again, Dr. Thompson. Everyone have a good night, and we'll see you on the next broadcast. Goodbye.